these guys in, and then I need to get. Morning, everyone. Hi there. How you doing? Good morning. Morning, Judy. Well, I would ask you, how's your chest, but that sounds a little.
How about sternum? Let's go
Sternum, okay.
there.
All right.
Good to see you, John.
You too. Well, no. What time is it?
9:58.
Oh, sorry, man.
I was going to tell Gabe that he has to catch his dog. At some point, we need to tell people that they can take take these flowers. If I can say it, it would be great because I bought them this morning.
I'll just mention it briefly, if
Yeah,
that's okay.
Just say like anyone who's thinking of a mother or is a mother.
Okay, okay.
Take a flower, you know.
Oh, I'll be happy to.
I'm going to go sit down now.
What time do you have?
9:50. This is my watch is wrong. Does someone have the time? 9:59.
Lucy, can you give me Lucy? Where is she? Can you give me a sign when it's time?
Okay. A few seconds to go.
Yeah. I need to get everybody in here. Oh, okay. There. Good morning and welcome. Love is the spirit of all souls. By golly. Whatever your beliefs, know that you're a gift inherently worthy of love. We're glad that you're here. In this moment of our shared journey, may you feel witnessed and honored wherever you are on your journey. Now, let's take a minute to greet our neighbor, please. So welcome again to everyone who's with us here and online, and those who will be catching us later on via video. I'm John Murphy. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm worship associate for today's program, along with Gabe Perbieri, our music director, pronouns he, him, and our pianist, Liz Elsmore, pronouns she, her, and we're your worship team today. We welcome back Reverend Nell Newton, pronouns she, Aya, to our pulpit. Reverend Nell lives with her family in Austin, Texas, and she has served several congregations in Texas, including San Antonio, Amarillo, and she is also an accomplished martial artist, for what it's worth. Reverend Katie also shared that she bakes a heck of an apple pie, actually the best in the planet, according to Reverend Katie, and she believes in nourishing people in her ministry. So, unfortunately, we're not going to enjoy that apple pie today because Reverend Nell will be joining us via video. Reverend Katie, our senior minister, is across town visiting and leading the worship at our sister congregation, UUI, and she'll be back next Sunday, and then she'll be with us until June 1st, and that she'll be leaving directly after the flower communion and her sabbatical send-off party, so keep that in mind. People of all ages are joyfully welcomed in service. If nursery care if that's for you, then it's available. Everybody is invited to complete a connection card on the end of the pew. It's a great way to let us know if you need support, assistance, new contact information, interest, comment, complaint, or question, and just put it in the offering basket as it's passed later on. So next Sunday is our annual youth bridging and our annual meeting after the service. So please plan to attend. I would like to invite Julia Van Deren up for a few important words.
Thank you. I just want to provide a quick update about the stewardship drive and a reminder about the town hall this evening. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone who's made their 25, 26 church year pledge. Many have very generously increased their pledges, and we have some new pledges as well. And so I want to express our sincere gratitude for that. I also have to announce that we are at just under $300,000, which means we are running behind on this stewardship drive. We are currently planning the budget around meeting last year's level of pledging, which is $335,000. And that is, based on our projections, that's very achievable if the units that are outstanding, the pledged units that are outstanding that have pledged in the past, do so at similar levels. So I'm up here to say, if you haven't let us know your plans for pledging in 25, 26, please, please, please let us know. Even if your ability to commit to a pledge in next year has changed, that's okay. We can work with whatever information we have. At this point, we just need to make sure we have the information. And then the other thing I wanted to make sure that I let folks know is that we do have a draft of the budget around that 335, and an email. Your come to church email that went out this morning includes a link to see that draft. We will have a town hall meeting this evening virtually, and the link is also in that email. And that link also went out in an email earlier this week, so that you can ask questions about the draft budget. It also, if you saw the email earlier this week, The agenda for the congregational meeting is in that, and it does include a proposed bylaw revision that will allow the vice president and president to operate and function as co-president. So that will be up for vote at next week's meeting. And then the slate of officers to be elected at next week's is in that. So if you have any questions about any of that, I will be in the social hall, and I do have a paper copy of that draft budget if you need to see it. But again, it is linked in your come to church email. And then the link to the Zoom for this evening, if you want to join us for the town hall, ask questions, have discussion, give us feedback, we hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. As we begin our time together, we continue to acknowledge the land itself and those who have sustained it throughout the generations. As we say every Sunday, you should know by heart, we're on the unceded land of the Lenape, Miami, Kaskaskia, Shawnee, and Kickapoo people who were pushed from their land and whose children were stolen. As we strive to be a community of justice, may we continue to find ways to make reparations. Our call to worship this morning is a poem by Mary Oliver about the sun. How appropriate. Hello, sun in my face. Hello, you who make the morning and spread it over the fields and into the faces of the tulips and the nodding morning glories and into the windows of even the miserable and crotchety. Best preacher that ever was, dear star that just happens to be where you are in the universe sphere, to keep us from ever darkness, to ease us with warm touching, to hold us in the great hands of light. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Watch now how I start the day in happiness, in kindness. Let us worship.
The ritual of lighting our chalice reminds us to continually renew our promise to live into our covenant, to put love in action, and to live out the community of love and justice we aim to be. Please rise in body or spirit as we speak together the words of our covenant, first in Spanish and then in English, while Mary is lighting our chalice. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia y el servicio es su ley. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor y ayudarnos unos a otros. Este es nuestro pacto. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and help one another. This is our covenant.
Please be seated. We have a reading today, but I don't have to do it. It's going to be on video by the Reverend Nell.
Here is an excerpt from The Appeal to Womanhood Throughout the World, also known as the original Mother's Day Declaration by Julia Ward Howe. Arise, all women who have hearts. Whether your baptism be that of water or tears, say firmly, we will not have great questions decided by irrelevant agencies. Our husbands shall not come to us reeking with carnage for caresses and applause. Our sons shall not be taken from us to unlearn all that we have been able to teach them of charity, mercy, and patience. We, women of one country, will be too tender of those of another country to allow our sons to be trained to injure theirs. From the bosom of the devastated earth, a voice goes up with our own. It says, disarm, disarm. The sword of murder is not the balance of justice. Blood does not wipe out dishonor, nor violence vindicate possession. As men have often forsaken the plow and the anvil at the summons of war, let women now leave all that may be left of home for a great and earnest day of council. Let them meet first as women to bewail and commemorate the dead. Let them solemnly take counsel with each other as to the means whereby the great human family can live in peace, man as brother of man, each bearing his own kind, the sacred impress, not of Caesar, but of God.
I invite us now to stand in body or in spirit as you are able and sing hymn number 1026 in the teal hymnal, If Every Woman in the World. Please be seated. I invite you to please join me in taking the time to acknowledge events that are bringing joy or sorrow to our community. First of all, we wish Norma Cummings a speedy recovery from her surgery this past week. And Sandy Ryberg wants me to tell you that these flowers here are for anybody, mothers or otherwise. Take them if you would, please. She doesn't want to have to take them home. Those, not these. Okay. The real ones. On this Mother's Day, we acknowledge that it's not a joyous day for all mothers. We grieve with the mothers in harm's way as they helplessly watch their babies wither away from malnutrition and starvation. We share the outrage as we witness the cruel separation of mothers from their children by agents acting in our name and against our will. We agonize with those mothers who anxiously wait the return of their sons and daughters from the battlefield, hoping fervently that they come back still whole in body and mind. For these and the joys and sorrows in our hearts that have not been named, let us hold a moment of silence together. Thank you. Now I invite you to please, again, rise in body or spirit as you are able, as we sing hymn number 1069 in the teal hymnal, Ancient Mother.
Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears. Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears.
Please be seated. And now relax and enjoy a video reflection by the Reverend Nell Newton.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Nell Newton. I use she, her pronouns, and I bring you greetings from Central Texas. First, let me state that parenting and mothering can be done by a person of any gender. It is not limited to those who gestate and give birth. I recognize this and affirm this, and today I'm going to be using the word mama to refer to anyone who has mothered a child, however that child arrived. And this is including people of all genders. When my firstborn child was a week old, I discovered that I had changed. My mother and I had to take the baby to a lab for a routine blood test. I was still on that postpartum hormonal roller coaster, and I carried my baby with a mixture of astonishment and exhaustion. The blood test involved pricking the baby's heel with a lancet and then squeezing drops of blood onto a special piece of paper. There were 10 little circles. Each circle was to contain 1 drop of blood. I handed my baby over to the technicians, and I steeled myself for his cries. But things didn't go well. The pricking didn't happen quite right. The drops of blood didn't ooze correctly onto the paper, and the technicians jabbed my baby several times trying to get the blood, and my baby screaming with pain, and my mother grabbed my arm to restrain me. Be obedient. Hold still. Be nice. This went on for 20 minutes, and they still didn't have the samples. The little card was smeared with my infant's blood, and the technicians were increasingly frustrated as my baby screamed. Finally, my mother let go of me, and I lunged forward. I took my baby back, and I calmed him down. I was nice. I did not kill any of them, but I wanted to. Then the head technician came back from their lunch break and looked at the situation. He tossed out that ruined card, got a fresh card, took my kid's foot, jabbed one little hole. In 30 seconds, he was done, and we left. I was nice. I did not kill any of them, but I wanted to. The nice person that I used to be was gone, and now I wanted to claw and kick and bite and scream. I had never felt such rage so cleanly and clearly. Somehow I was polite and even thanked them as I left. I don't regret many things in my life, but I regret that encounter. Just recalling it creates a burning feeling in my chest. A growl rises, and all over again, I feel like an angry mama mammal. Today is Mother's Day. And there will be pretty cards with lacy decorations and sweet sentimental poems, and there will be flowers and brunches, and there will be a complicated mix of emotions for most of us. Only the youngest people can be simple in the love of mothers. An older mama once explained to me, it's different now. There are all these books and theories. When I was raising my child, I didn't have all that. I just was more like a wild animal. I just listened to instinct. I didn't worry so much about if I was doing it right. I just did it. What if all mamas could safely relax into their wild animal instinct? Could any mama today get away with that? Because contemporary mamas are faced with critics ready to degrade their confidence. Every mama's conduct is held up for scrutiny. You feed your toddler one French fry in public, and someone is going to question your maternal fitness. When I was mothering young children, there was tension between mamas who worked in the home and mamas who worked outside the home. And this tension was dubbed the mommy wars. Is that even still a thing? I hope not. Because it was really just a cutesy name to redirect our attention away from the oppression of income inequality and the financial vulnerability that mamas face. On a brighter note, there are now some single mamas who are pooling their resources and creating mommunes, where 2 or more mamas share a house and they help one another with childcare and they split the bills. This is new for some cultures, and it is a very old strategy. It's a wise way of raising up children. It's a wild and natural strategy. It's how we evolved. Now, for all of the non-gestational mamas, the mamas who adopt or foster children, they are just as wild as the mamas who give birth. The scientists have a name for this, allomaternal or alloparental behavior, and it occurs in pretty much every major mammalian group. Caring for other people's babies is completely natural, because when all of the babies and children do better, we all do better. I'm telling you this because mamas, however they got there, mamas just under the surface are still wild animals. Mamas will pull fluff out of their own chest to line the nest with their feathers or fur. Mamas will sacrifice their very bodies to make a safe place for the children. I took prenatal vitamins. I still lost a tooth for each child, just like the old wives' tales. Don't make any sudden moves. And don't get in between a mama and her babies. This is because mamas are being obedient to the dancing double helix of DNA that commands us to carry the children forward. Mamas hear the deep growl of the goddess Kali, who rips open with us when the babies are born. And we hear the soothing murmur of the goddess Kuan Yin, who weeps along with us when our children suffer. Mamas carry with them the great mother of the universe, the creator and the destroyer, and she is not impressed with thoughts and prayers. Mothering is done anytime a person has grabbed a child out of danger, wiped away tears, or challenged another adult in order to protect a child. And that last one is what we are all being called on to do right now. The original Mother's Day proclamation was written by Julia Ward Howe in 1870 in response to the carnage of the Civil War and other looming foreign wars. Her words now seem a little floral and formal, but she was writing with a keen fury as she appealed to women to collectively work to stop war. My favorite line is, "We will not have great questions decided by irrelevant agencies." Those irrelevant agencies were the patriarchal governments that invoked nationalism to justify killing their sons through war. And here we are, 150 years later, and still irrelevant agencies are upholding the patriarchy, oppressing minorities, and using fear and nationalism to justify killing our children. Only this time, the wars are not on foreign soils, and it is not just young soldiers who are dying. Here in Texas, maybe there in Indiana, it is our school children and their teachers, our neighbors who went shopping or went to church, or who simply knocked on the wrong door at night. We're seeing a civil war blooming its red stain upon our country. It is a war against the democratic process and against equity and equality. It is a war against one of the deepest aspirational values of our country, that all are created equal. For the powers do not actually believe this. They do not believe that all are created equal. The powerful want war, because war, as always, benefits the powerful. The merchants of war are getting rich by selling fear, because fear sells so easily. They are consigning us to hell for their profit. So yes, we must harness our joy and our creativity to upend the fear, but today I am invoking our wild mama rage to open up a can of goddess wrath, because the Great Mother is not impressed with thoughts and prayers when children are hiding in closets or behind desks. If you have mothered anyone in any way, we need your rage. If you have ever wiped away tears or spoon-fed soft foods into a mouth, if you have ever cradled another body, sung soft songs to sleep, or simply kissed a boo-boo, we need your wildness now. We need you to unleash your loving rage and your protective fury. Because when all of the babies and children do better, we all do better. In the name of love and life, may it be so.
So this week, as a movement toward right relations, we're sharing our plate with the Miami Nation Honor Fund. This organization provides non-indigenous people with the opportunity to repair the harm caused by colonization. It supports the Miami tribe by sustaining their community and culture. To contribute, you can place a cash or check in the collection basket as it is passed. If online, you can go to our website and click on Give to All Souls. There's a button for it. You'll easily find it. We need to clarify if you're giving a check or you're pledging online. If you don't indicate, if you mean it for it to be a pledge, that's fine. If you don't indicate, then we'll assume it's for Share the Plate. Thank you for your generosity in supporting the mission of All Souls and for your continued love for one another and this world. Morning offering will now be given and gratefully received. These words are the words of Dana Falls. In the shared quiet, an invitation arises, like a white dove lifting from a limb and taking flight. Come and live in truth. Take your place in the flow of grace. Draw aside the veil you thought would always separate your heart from love. All you ever long for is before you in this moment. If you dare draw in a breath and whisper, yes. Now I invite you to please rise as you are able and join in our closing hymn. It's printed, the words are printed not in your order of service, but on a separate sheet. Yeah, yeah. A little combative, but